This is Jason Bischoff back on the No Name Morning Show for Hook FM. We always like bringing folks by here on the station and talking about great movies coming out with artists. And today I've got filmmaker on the hook with Scotty Curley with The Potential Inside. Scotty, how you doing today?
I'm doing great, Jason. Thanks for the invitation.
Well, you know what? Love to have folks on here that are making good family movies. You know, there's a lot of junk out there, and we like to put good stuff on filmmaking, and really encourages other folks to do that as well. You got a movie out, The Potential Inside. Now, you were the writer, director, and you acted in this movie. And, of course, tell us a little about what's this movie all about, The Potential Inside.
Yeah, you know, the word potential, it brings, I think, a lot of different ideas into people's heads. And if you Google the word potential, you see that there are over 918 million links to the word potential. And it's really about what's important in life. How do we find our true potential, and how do we define that, you know? And really it comes down to defining it according to the Bible. And the backdrop of the movie is about a professional bike racer who is focused on all the wrong things. You know, and it's actually a great time that this movie released because of the whole story about Lance Armstrong and some of the troubles that he's you know, gotten into lately with misguided priorities and, you know, winning at all costs and that sort of thing, which, you know, we cover in our movie. So it's actually been a close parallel.
I tell you one thing, with you coming out like that, it was kind of almost God's timing because it came out on January the 15th. Folks can buy it now. Of course, different places online you can buy it. And you look at it, Lance Armstrong raises questions about all the things going on with him, but The Potential Inside kind of answers those questions, doesn't it?
It does, absolutely. And, you know, they set the release of our movie 3 months ago, and then we recently find out about Lance Armstrong being on Oprah, and the timing could not have been better. And somebody asked me the other day, are you surprised by this? And I said, no, God's timing is always perfect, and I think, you know, he's worked it out for his glory. So, you know, we're really excited about it. It does answer a lot of the questions that the Lance Armstrong interview brings up, you know, winning at all costs. Really, how do you define success in the end, you know? And more importantly, how should we define success and potential? And we cover all these things in the film.
I tell you one thing, got a chance to see this film, and I can really relate to this movie. I mean, it was kind of something that you looked at. I was watching through the movie, and I had my kids there with me as well. And one part particular, when, you know, you were coming in and go one last big race, and you reach behind and you grab your daughter's hand, in the movie anyways, and she said something to you that, Dad, whenever you're holding your hand, it's like holding God's hand. And that stuck out to me that, you know, we're really examples as fathers, as parents in a home to our children and what God is like to them, aren't we?
Absolutely. You know, it is so important, the model that we are to the people around us, you know, young people, the people we work with, everybody we come in contact with. And, you know, God's love and the way we show God's love through our own lives, our own daily walks is so key because we're so focused on, you know, paying the bills, putting out fires each day from the time that we wake up in the morning to the time that we go out at night. A lot of times, you know, go to sleep at night. A lot of times we're just on the run constantly, and we really need to put in perspective, you know, why are we here? Why are we doing what we're doing? And ultimately, are we reaching our potential, the way God designed us to be? And the tagline for the movie is, be who God made you to be, becoming what God destined for us to become. And, you know, it's such a simple concept, yet we get lost in our busyness each day, and we really don't realize that God has, you know, destined us for something more.
Yes, he has. And you talk about this, and you got a lot of experience with cycling because of the fact you used to do that in the past, didn't you?
Yeah, I actually came from South Korea to race bicycles. I came over in 1990, competed at the Olympic trials in 1992, and I actually competed against one of Lance Armstrong's teammates, George Hincapie, which is his number one guy, his lieutenant, if you will, back at the 1992 Olympic trials. So, yeah, I'm very familiar with the sport. I know what it's like to spend, you know, hours and hours and hours on a bicycle seat pursuing a dream, and you know, ultimately, it's good to see people being affected by this movie because it helps them to see that they have to define perspective, the perspective on potential and success in the right way. You have to put that in the right construct to really, you know, figure out what's important in life.
Yes, you do. And how did that from cycling go into you being involved in directing and acting in a movie. How did you take from one to the next? I mean, what called you into doing this movie, anyways?
This is not something that I had planned to do, and it really was God opening the right doors at the right time. I had actually gone from cycling into business. I was in the pharmaceutical industry for many years, working up the corporate ladder. And as I was in business, and the pharmaceutical industry is a multi-billion-dollar industry, I just realized that there was a lot more to healthcare. It's a very complex issue. And really, I was looking for a life work. What could I do that would be a life work that I could be proud of, that God would be proud of me in doing? And, it's interesting that the Christian film movement happened right around that time, around 2005, 2006, and a movie out of Albany, actually, Flywheel, Facing the Giants, with Alex and Stephen Kendrick and those guys, and really inspired me to look to making good Christian content. And right around that time, I met a 40-year veteran casting director going from Los Angeles to New York. He stopped in Roanoke, Virginia. He was doing a seminar. I met him, and we started talking, and he had just cast a show in L.A. Called Lost. And he said, what nationality are you? I said, I'm Korean. He said, I'm looking for a Korean to play a role. Would you be interested in flying to L.A.? So I flew to Los Angeles, and that got my journey in the film industry started. And although I didn't land a part in Lost, it really helped me to see how impactful this movie industry could be. I mean, you can reach billions of people all around the world with films with redemptive messages. And, this movie, The Potential Inside, it speaks to the core of what each of us are looking for, reaching our true potential and doing it the right way.
Yes, it does, and looking forward to that. Where can folks find this? Of course, some different websites or bookstores. Where can you get the film at?
Yeah, they can get it at Family Christian Stores. They have that in stock at Family Christian Stores. They can go to christiancinema.com. It's also available there. It's also on Amazon.com. So a variety of places that you can get it, and they're going to be on the shelves in some other stores and retail outlets as well.
Looking forward to that. Of course, The Potential Inside, Scotty Curley here on the show with me, filmmaker on the hook. Now, Scotty, there's always, whenever I have somebody come by here, I had Alex and Stephen Kendrick both by here on the station with me from, of course, Sherwood. Different other folks from Movie Courageous and Fireproof by here with me, and I do something called Filmmaker on the Hook. Do you mind being involved in this with me?
Hey, absolutely.
Let's go ahead and do it. What I do is ask some fun questions about you, let our listener more about you. And so let's go and ask the first question, and here it is. If I give you 2 movie passes, what kind of movie would you go see, and who would you take with you?
Obviously, it would be with my wife, and I would probably go see a Christian film with a sci-fi sort of storyline, because we don't see a lot of sci-fi Christian films. And there's a great producer-director, Danny Corrales, who's coming out with a movie called Out of the Darkness. It's going to be a sci-fi Christian film, and it's, I think, going to be a great film. So I would have to say Out of the Darkness would be on the top of the list.
Nice. A little sci-fi film, huh?
There you go.
I love it. Good stuff there. Also, next question I've got for you with Scotty Curley from A Potential Inside. What are your hobbies? What do you like to do outside of filmmaking?
I love everything on 2 wheels. I love motorcycles. I love bicycling, mountain biking, road biking. Table tennis, ping pong, I guess we call it here in America, is a big sport in Korea. Love to do that. But I really just enjoy good fellowship, good company, spending time with old friends, talking about, life and some of the struggles that we all go through, and being able to relate to each other and praying for one another. I think that's kind of the way I recharge, and I really love that.
Good stuff here. Talking with Scotty Curley from The Potential Inside. Another question I've got for you. Now, that kind of leads into my next question. What's a fact about you other people may not know about? Maybe a fact. We know that you like to ride bicycles and cycling and different things like that. What's a fact maybe other people may not know about you?
Mm-hmm. A fact that you probably don't know about me is I spent 17 years of my life, from the time that I was born to age 17, in South Korea near a military base called Camp Red Cloud, located in Ujeongbu, South Korea.
Okay.
And Camp Red Cloud was really where I had the dreams of coming to America and pursuing the American dream. And so I named my company Red Cloud Productions. So Red Cloud Productions is the reason for, or the origination, I guess you can say, of Camp Red Cloud, where I came from in South Korea.
Oh, wow. That's interesting. I did not know that about that. So that's pretty cool. Next question I've got for you: if you could travel back to any era in time, maybe the Western times, maybe the old times back in the British days, what would be the time you travel back to? What era would you travel back to?
Ooh, great question. I think a lot of people would say the time of Christ, because he's our Savior, and obviously there's such a significance there. For me, it's a little more personal. For me, I would want to travel back to when my father was still alive. I lost my father at 17 when I was 17 years old, and I would travel back to then and really have a conversation about how much I appreciate him and what a great father he was, and things that I never got to express. And I think even that, with this movie, it just what's important in life and identifying those things. So I'd have to say I'd want to go back and talk to my dad and let him know how much I appreciate him and I loved him.
I tell you one thing, mate, I want you to encourage folks right now, if you haven't talked to your parents in a little while, go talk to them. Tell them you love them, because once they're gone, you miss them.
You got it.
Last question I've got for you, one or two words to describe your personality. What would they be?
I think driven is probably one. Wow. Driven and focused is two type A.
Yeah, they are.
I would say driven is one, and I think fun is probably another. When I let go and when I have fun, I just like to have fun and have a great time, and so driven and fun are probably two words to describe me.
I tell you one thing: if you watch the movie Potential Inside, of course you're the lead character in that, and you can see that drivenness you have in what you're doing and acting, but also in directing the film as well. Well, I appreciate you stopping here on the morning show with me, and of course, go check it out. Many different places you can see the movie The Potential Inside. Go ahead and buy it. And also, I want to ask you before you get off here, anything upcoming you got coming up in the near future that you're looking at doing?
Yeah, actually, we got a movie called Extraordinary about a career professor here at Liberty University. He's a 33-year veteran professor at Liberty. And by the way, I'm a professor myself here teaching film at Liberty now. We just started a brand new film department, so I produce and direct in addition to teaching. But it's about David Horton, and the amazing thing about this guy is that he has run 114,000 miles during his career, equal to running around the Earth 4.5 times. He's run across the continental United States. He's the former record holder of the Appalachian Trail and the Pacific Coast Trail. But really, it's his ministry as a professor here at Liberty where he's touched the lives of so many people over the past 33 years that's so impressive. And we're doing a story about him. Again, it's going to be called Extraordinary. And before we go, I wanted to mention one thing.
Yes.
For those who are interested, they can go to thepotentialinside.com, and there's actually a free Bible study guide there that you can download. It's a 12-page guide that walks you through the movie and really talks about each of the talking points, study points. And I think people will find that helpful wherever they are in their walk of life, as individuals.
I tell you one thing, looking forward to it, and also seeing the movie The Potential Inside. Scotty Curley, as always, thanks for stopping by here with me.
It's a pleasure. Thank you.